Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is the day I've been waiting for years. Finally, Billie's first full album is here. It's truly here, and you know, I've always been excited since Billie's debut. They just immediately became a group that just deeply fascinated me, and the reason I got into them in the first place is because I loved Sooyeon or Shun on Girls Planet, and then when I found out she was joining, I was like, okay, I'll get into the group then. But then immediately was just hooked by their amazing discography and their lore. That meant for pretty much since debut, they've been up there on my favorite groups list. But it's not until Cloud Palace was released that I was like, okay, since it's been so long since the comeback, I've kind of not exactly lost interest, but I just haven't been able to keep up the interest because they haven't been doing as much. But when Cloud Palace released, I was like, okay, their first full album is coming out, so I have to just totally dive into them. And I have done that. And I've examined every single quarter of the lore, I'm pretty sure. And I think I just got all the facts in there so I can share all there is to be shared about this. And I feel like I can understand any references to previous things to help you guys understand. So that's what I'm here to do today, as well as to fan out because I'm so excited. Because of course, while getting into the lore again, I've also just totally fallen for them in other stuff and checking out a bunch of variety content and stuff. So also, just to start off, check out my Patreon where I will do more content for this comeback. I'm sure I've already gone back and checked out some other things, but I love to do more, and there's still plenty of content I haven't seen from them. So if you have specific things in Billie's past that you'd want to see reactions to, then let me know and I'd love to check them out. You can get that for free for a month using the link in the description, the Patreon. And then real quick, check out my work reaction that I already did, and then my song tier list video and my explaining the lore in 10 minutes video. Those are all very fun, and been saying this on all my videos. Did it on the work one and this one. I did an actual collab with a real K-pop group on my channel, and I just want people to watch it. With the group Arise, played a game, Arise for K-pop Jeopardy. So it was very fun. So I'd appreciate if you'd check that out. But now we have ZAP, the title track, and I don't know what to expect, man. I don't know how much lore there's going to be because there wasn't a whole like lore film this time. Like they had a few little things, but I'm used to, you know, for a comeback you get a whole lore film, and they didn't this time. So I'm like worried, like what if, you know, all my lore hunting was for nothing? There just won't be that much to this. But even if it's subtle, I'll be able to pick it out, and I just gotta find out all the little things, because definitely in the teasers they've been saying a lot of stuff about the lore. It just hasn't been as story based, so I'm curious how it's gonna go. But without further ado, I suppose, make sure you subscribe for any future Billie reactions, and I will be doing a reaction to the entire album on here. It should be out fairly soon, but I'm sure it will be a very long video, so who knows how long it'll take to edit. But yeah, without further ado, first, Timothée, do you have any thoughts? Then let's get into ZAP. Okay. I keep saying it's time, and then I just hesitate because I'm so excited, but just play it first, and then, you know, talk about the song as well, and then get into the lore stuff and the lyrics. And God, I just can't wait. What will this video be about? 3, 2, 1. Oh, and the best part, of course, always is the Mystic Story intro. Always slaps. Oh. It's just so dark, man. Dude, that set is so cool. Immortal. Man, platinum hair. I just never would have imagined this out. Dude, the video is so cool looking. God, it's just so good. The production, always perfect. There's no story yet, though. Sombra. Dude, it's just gorgeous. We're deep in the conscious, man. It's all just metaphorical imagery or whatever. Okay, Suki, there. I don't speak that language.
They told a lie. There was no Billlie. 어지럼 더울 조금씩 quiet. Show you around me not down feeling. 이건 뭐라 해도.
Is it gonna spell something in the clouds or something? They're moving really. Just can't believe this is Billlie. Dude.
Can you feel it?
I feel something. That's for sure. Okay, there's a little bit left. Can we have some sort of lore? Man, this isn't. Brother, it's such a confusing mix of feelings because it's a great song. It's so cool. The video looks so awesome. If it was any other group in the world, I would be like, yes, it's just the best, coolest music video and song ever. But with Billlie, where's the lore? Where's the storyline? I don't get it, man. For the first full album, just what happened to the lore? You told a lie. There was no Billlie apparently. So that's it. We just gave up? Like, are we not going to get back to the just super captivating lore and actual storylines to it? Because like they aren't giving up on it. Like through all the teasers and stuff, like they're still very much in that. But like I got nothing from this that we didn't already get from the teasers. And what the teasers were saying were just basically that there was no Billlie, and saying, you know, stuff that's been implied in the lore for a very long time, which is obviously, you know, Billlie isn't really supposed to just be a character. Like she represents the kind of inner mind of them that they've been suppressing over their lives. And in this comeback, it seems like they're really going even harder on being like, okay, no, the truth is coming out now, and we're going to stop hiding it, stop suppressing her in our minds, and actually dive deep in there into our unconscious to bring her back, because we're the ones who hid her in the first place. She wasn't taken from us. We've been suppressing her, and we're going to fight through our trauma or whatever to, you know, meet her again. And that just seems like an obvious stepping point that would happen in the lore. But the music video not having anything really to do with that, it's like, it's disappointing, man, because just a big thing that I love about Billlie is just getting those amazing story-based music videos. Like all of them so far have been that way. And even like Kiyoksatang or Remembrance Candy, like that kind of wasn't quite as focused on the lore, and I think that was more of a kind of general symbolic comeback for the group, and that was different, but it didn't really feel out of place because that felt like it was about the kind of meaning of the lore more than the literal story. But there even was a story to the music video, and it still felt very related. And this video, just the video on its own, doesn't feel like it has any relation to the lore. Like anyone would watch this and they wouldn't be like, ooh, have to make theories about this. Like it was just cool imagery pretty much. And, you know, like I get that could signify that they're, you know, going into the darkest parts of their mind to try and, you know, fight through what's holding them back. And that makes sense. But God, I just want more. And you know, I started my YouTube channel for, you know, last year. So it's the first Billlie comeback that I've ever gotten to do this with. And it's just sad that there's not as much story for this. But luckily, of course, I still have plenty to say about, you know, just how much I love the song and the video. And we'll definitely focus on the lyrics more. But I just desperately hope that there's more actual story in the lyrics of the other songs on the album. Because, you know, I'm doing a whole reaction to that whole thing. And it'd suck if I didn't have that much to say about the lore there, because there just isn't much. But talk about the song real quick too, I suppose. It's obviously like work. It's that same, it's a very different genre, but it gives kind of similar feelings. It's just very in your face and powerful and kind of EDM-y, but not quite as hard on the EDM as work was. But it's just very in your face, catchy, memorable, powerful, and just different than a lot of K-pop nowadays, because, you know, so much of stuff from Guru specifically is just very kind of floaty and soft and easy listening. And then when they do more bold stuff, it's not really this style. Like this is just so much power, and it's sharp and just pierces your ears, and it's amazing. Like I literally have earrings on under here, man. It just pierced my ears somehow. I don't know what I'm talking about. But definitely Zap is a good title for it, man. It's Zap. That's what it feels like. It's that kind of strong, just sharp energy. And of course, the music video is gorgeous, and like it's better than most K-pop music videos I've ever seen just because of how gorgeous all the imagery was. But then it's not as good as like any other Billlie music video just because it doesn't have that same storyline. So that sucks. But suppose let's get into it one more time, really focus in on the lyrics to see what I can get from those, because didn't pick up much from it just from watching it the first time, but try and analyze all the lines and see if there's anything hidden we can find. So let's get into it. And of course, gotta re-listen to the Mystic Story intro. It feels a little different this time. I'm gonna talk about the Mystic Story intro for a second. It's not quite the same rhythm. I feel like maybe it's kind of similar, but they're switching it up a bit there. So it's interesting because typically it's always the same kind of melody, but just with different sounds. And like the Rima Bell one, that might be the best one because that was the rock version. It was very cool, but felt more different this time. Yeah, just the red, black, and white aesthetic of all of the teasers and the music video and everything, just from the get-go, just made it feel like, okay, this is a very, very different album than anything Billlie has done before. And the sound definitely matches that aesthetic very well, but it's sharp, it's dark, and, you know, the general story of Billlie has been, you know, somewhat bleak for a long time, but they often had songs that were very exciting, and the title tracks often were like excited about getting to go and find Billlie and just, you know, search for her. And like some B-sides would be not typically very sad, but just kind of like more distant in a way. And, you know, that feeling of like, I feel disconnected or I'm confused and trying to figure out my mind and figure out what's going on. But this album feels like it's the first that is kind of trying to go a very darker direction, but then the actual sound of the two songs we've heard so far have definitely been more just powerful and confident, and like, you know, we're going to do what it takes to break through this darkness that's around us and really get to the meat of it and, you know, figure out what's going on in our minds. And it makes for some great imagery. Can't argue with that. But I will say, okay, suppose I'll have to bring up some of the other videos too, because they had these little teaser videos beforehand. Cartography of the Unconscious, which shows Billlie herself like going and doing different stuff, and so was the one for work, and it shows Billlie in a kind of dark place that maybe feels a little similar to where they are there. Probably not quite. Just kind of reminded me because it has the dark ground, but it looks like kind of a city there more so, but this is mountains. So I was wondering if they were just going the same places, but it seems different. Okay, focus on the lyric. So just running around. Rolling eyes and scrolling down, they need some dopamine. Pour out the gossip. Fingers, they all want to spill the tea. So they like social media lyrics, like rolling eyes and scrolling down, fingers, they all want to spill the tea. So it's like, you know, gossip culture on the internet and everything, just scrolling through posts and wanting to, you know, badmouth people, I suppose. What does camino mean? It's like a just path, I guess, in Spanish. Walk on a blurry road. Past in the past, returning back to the past, because obviously Billlie represents childhood very heavily as well, not just like all the inner parts that they're suppressing. Like a lot of it has to do with childhood. It might just be because, you know, in your childhood, that's when you're the most kind of open with yourself, and, you know, you aren't afraid to show all the parts of yourself. And then as you grow older, you know, start to hide things more. So it's going back to the past, turning back. Why specifically the word zap? Sombra. What is that? Spanish for shadow. So can't forget the memoria. They use that in one of their teasers. Looked it up. It's just basically memories. I mean, what do you expect? But yeah, it's fancy word for things that have happened to them, I suppose. Not afraid of casting shadows. The whole damn gimmick. Like that one. All the subtitles are perfect. Again, it's just not very specific lyrics for the most part. God, the video's cool. What is that thing? Is that the owl? What creature is that? Because Bakuet, every Billlie comeback has like a lover, they call it, that's a little animal that kind of has to do with Billlie and, you know, represents some part of their mind, I suppose, that tries to help them usually. And for this one, it's like a capybara thing called Bakuet. But what is that? What is that animal? It doesn't look like it would be that. But in this video, they have an owl, and I don't know if it really looks like an owl either. But is there a close-up shot of that? Because it shows this shot here of the owl, but I mean, that seems probably pretty different. Definitely different type of eye. It looks like a mammal of some sort, but what is that? What is this creature? Is it an enemy? I don't know what that means, and I don't speak Japanese. So go to Google Translate. I knew it all along. I knew that the answer was me. Okay. Yeah. Tracks. And again, it's just kind of repeating stuff from the teaser. Who's they though? Because it's you. It's you. Like you're the one who's been telling yourself a lie this whole time, is what we've been saying in some of the teasers. I feel like in a lot of the teasers they kind of have been switching up the pronouns a lot, like talking about you versus I versus we versus they, because it's all so unclear. Like it seems like sometimes they imply that all the members are kind of representing parts of the same person, because like in the latest like teaser video they had for this, it showed the members kind of fighting and saying like, oh, they're just like a collection of people, like fractured parts, and they have to fight to come together or something. So that makes it seem like the members are like all part of one consciousness, and that's obviously a way you could interpret everything. And it's like a big theory could be like, you know, all of the lore is just, you know, not real, and it all just represents stuff, and it's all figurative and represents different people, different parts of one consciousness, and how you, as you grow, you lose parts of yourself and then have to find them again. Or it could be like, this is literally happening, but it's still obviously a metaphor for that. But it seems like even through the teasers of this specific comeback, like they switch things up a lot. So yeah, just saying like they told a lie, but it's you. Like that's you're the subject of the story that's trying to look for Billlie. Like no one else is telling you that, I feel like.
They told a lie. There was no Billlie.
So I don't know what it means. The instrumental is great. That shit is cool as hell. This set especially, man. Just a big wide pillar, like backroom type feel.
Can you feel it?
Can I feel it? What can I feel? What are you asking about, Billlie? Can I feel the zap? I suppose I can. But yeah, just part of it seems less satisfying just because it feels like they've won. Like that's what work and this I felt like. It's like they're so confident that they've just won. It's like, yeah, we fought through all the trauma that we've been fighting through all these comebacks. We fought through the suppression that we've done to ourselves. Like, felt like Cloud Palace was kind of the end of that. And like, they were like, okay, we found ourselves finally, and we pushed through everything. And now this whole comeback so far has just seemed like, yeah, we're so cool. Look, we did it. Like, good job. And feels a bit anticlimactic because so much story to all of it, and then just done all of a sudden. Like, what will future comebacks be like? But you know, so excited for a comeback to be like, okay, yeah, lore expert. I can't wait to talk about that. But you know, hopefully I'm saying enough. But there's just honestly not that much to say, because it's all kind of self-explanatory. Like, you know, they're going back to the past because they're you know, feeling confident again. They're going to show themselves to everyone and show their true selves, show their inner selves, and not hide away from people because they want to conform to other people's expectations anymore. Like, they're just being bold and themselves, and like they've already finished it. So it feels like the kind of after party of the lore. So it's kind of just making me feel like a fraud. Like I'm just here for nothing. This is just like a regular K-pop reaction. But I mean, like, Is there any other clues that I could find in the video? Like, it all just seems like symbolic imagery that's like I don't know, what do the pillars mean specifically? Like, I don't know. Could they? I wouldn't imagine there's anything that would represent, but just on chair here, on mountains, like, it just feels like, yeah, they're in the dark depths of their subconscious, because, you know, it's the collective soul and unconscious that those comebacks represent what's going on in their minds and not what literally is happening. So it's obviously all going to be symbolic, but just all the red stuff is like, yeah, the anger and, you know, hatred of parts of themselves, and they're just fighting through it and, you know, getting to the core of what they've been hiding from themselves that they want to return to. And that's what they say. And, you know, now they're confident enough to, you know, zap people and not just try and hide away from them. Like, yeah, we're gonna be bold. And just feels like it's that simple. I don't know. The biggest lines in the song were the, you know, Japanese, I knew it all along. I knew that the answer was me. And then they told a lie. There was no Billlie. So they realized, you know, Billlie was just a part of their mind wanting to encourage them to go and find what they were missing. And like, that was never what they were actually looking for. They were just looking for themselves. And Billlie was just a MacGuffin to get them to go after that, as the song MacGuffin says. Of course, they knew it all along, but they just didn't want to accept that, had to push through. Now, seems like they did, but I suppose I just have to get into my regular stuff of rating how much I like the song and the music video. Let's get the music video out of the way. How would I rate it? Because like every other Billlie MV, it has to be a 10 out of 10, just because of how much I can watch it and just analyze every little bit of it and just absolutely love it. If you guys want to see me give analyses on their previous comebacks, then, you know, maybe I'll do it. If you want to see it, if you feel like you don't understand them well enough, because I can do that. I feel like I understand them well, could try and, you know, compress it down to explain it well. But for this music video, of course, it's just gorgeous. Like, again, especially obviously the mountain's cool, but I just love this set. I just love it. It looks very cool. I love the white and red and then black. Just the color palette of everything looks great. So if it was any other group, like, I would give this music video super high rating, but just comparing it to their other ones feels weird. But still, gotta give it a nice strong 9 out of 10. I feel like it's still great. So definitely love the video. Obviously all the members are popping off as you'd expect from them, just like in the work music video or the work performance video. But I was going to say this kind of feels similar because there's a lot of just plain white backgrounds, just like the performance video for work. So it feels like a slightly higher budget performance video, honestly. It's just a lot of choreography this time. But then the song is great. I think I don't like it quite as much as work, but I'm still a big fan of it. I still love this sound, and just always Mystic Story is never going to disappoint me with the production. So that's the only thing that is keeping me from being like legit disappointed about this comeback, is just the music is all perfectly produced and the music videos are perfectly produced, even though it's not exactly what I'm wanting from Billlie. I just can't help but be super excited because I love just the members too, and I just love hearing great music. So still definitely an amazing song. I probably have to give it 90 initial rating for the song. So, you know, it's definitely comparable to other Billlie songs. Like, they have the best discography ever, so there are definitely plenty of songs I like more than this, but it doesn't disappoint me at all on that front. But just the lyrics and the lack of lore in the music video is the only thing. So hopefully I'm not just clickbaiting with this title, and I desperately hope I have more to say in the album reaction. So let's hope that. But definitely let me know what you thought about in the comments. If you have any things that you caught that you want to let me know somehow, just hidden in the background of the music video or something, that I'd love to hear it, because I need more lore. I've never had enough. I've never had my fill of Billlie lore. So yeah, let me know what you thought. Check out my album reaction when it comes out. Check out my other Billlie reactions. And if you want to see me go through their older stuff, then I could. Might take a little while because I can't be doing that all the time, but I'd be down if you feel like you want a little guide through that. And then most importantly, as always, check out my Rise video. It's link in the description. It's so cool. It's so fun, man. We did a game show with an actual group, so it's pretty cool. See you in the next video.